When you want somebody gone and you don't want to wait too long, call the immediate murder professionals. Hand grenade or cyanide will make it look like suicide. The immediate murder professionals.
Like a smile, my beat is blinding, ever blinding. I swore I wouldn't dwell on the divorce till for my own health. I remind myself that when I see him, I know that it won't feel so tough. I'll believe him and not the rest. It can just be him and me. I set us free. I'm getting by avoiding his questions. It's so complicated, I hate when it's complicated. Why do I always end up in situations that are complicated? Here I go again, getting in my head, so I'll focus on the sexy stuff. And when I see things, I'll just bring the romance spice. He's got a nice arrangement, and it's working out just fine. Learn if this goes back when I see him. Am I doing something I can't take back? Would he want me if he was free? And if he's only here as a prisoner, what kind of monster does that make me? My entire life's been written in stone. He taught me that I could choose. He deserves the choice to stay or go, though it scares me to think what I'd lose. Can't wait to lose ourselves in nasty sex and make what makes sense, like sucking who needs words when you got a mouth full of your love and trust? His birth was nice and rough. Oh yeah. When I see him, will it be tender or be tough? Will it please him, or will I just be fucking it all up? Will this be a relationship, or am I still naive? I'll set us free, whatever it may be, when I see him tonight.
I know you've all been waiting for that. We've been teasing it for some time now. Full Moon is nearly ready for you. It's gonna blow your fucking heads off. That's why you weren't ready for the first 10 seconds of that visual. Trust me. We're not fucking ready for it. We are so excited to have the main cast of Helluva here with us today. We had such a blast last year. We had to bring more people with us. Are we ready to introduce this cast? We have to start this out right with the creator of Helluva, Vivian Madrano! Followed by everyone's favorite hellhound, Erica Lvlupexpo! Followed by, as you just saw, a very, very, very emotionally conflicted Goetia demon, our Point Stolas, Bryce Pinkham! Next up, someone very near and dear to my heart, my beloved sister Millie, Vivian. And because I simply couldn't sit anyone else next to her, her beloved husband, Moxie, and he's got a new hat! All right, that's a flip of the hat right there. Next up, we have the Helluva himself, Brandon Wilson. walking the long path around. Now, I've introduced all these people a few times now, but this next person is the first time I get to welcome them to the stage. Wow. The voice of Fizzeroni. That blew my eardrums right through my fucking skull. Thank you all so much for contractually being obligated to be here.
This feels like we're gonna find out the results of a paternity test right now.
Oddly enough, every single one of you is the father. It's impressive. It is so great to have all of you here today. The last time we were here, I don't think we were quite into season 2 yet, so a lot has fucking happened since then. Vince, do you want to talk a little bit before we get going with the rest of the cast on where we are so far in season 2 and leading up to this very emotional duet between Stolas and Blitz that we just saw?
Yeah, we are very, very far into season 2, and I'm very excited because I'll save that for the ending, but we have some fun reveals for you as to when season 2 is going to be brought to you, and you'll get to see it. And yeah, as far as the build-up, everyone in this room, I can imagine, has seen the show. So you guys, you were waiting for that moment, and you're waiting to see where it ends and where it leads.
There's two people in the audience who have no idea what the fuck's going on right now.
Those 2 people need to get the fuck out. Okay, but parents, you guys probably don't understand what just happened on the screen that you just saw.
There are 2 parents quickly walking their children out of what they thought was a Bluey panel.
I'm so sorry for corrupting the youth. But no, basically, we've been building this relationship so much, and I'm really excited for you all to see kind of the culmination of so much emotional buildup, and to get a peek at that was the very start of the next episode. So.
It is coming along very, very quickly. There's been massive development for everyone's characters. We've already gotten into some very heavy arcs with everyone. Starting down the line, I would love to ask you not only your first impressions of the character when you first got them, but what has surprised you along the way, and what you're most excited to explore as we're getting into the second half of season 2. Starting with Erica.
I thought that I was auditioning for a furry fighting game. That's what I had in my head when I got the science for Luna. And I just thought, oh, cool, sweet. And I just went, I'll just be myself. She's angry, like me, always. And yeah, it kind of all went from there. I feel like it's been such a whirlwind over such a long period of time, really, like from the inception of the pilot, right? It's been so long. I feel like I'm a completely different person at this point, but I'm honestly looking forward to more Luna angst. I love it. I just want more of what has already been happening for her. I think we're peeling back the layers, like she's an angry little onion.
Well, some of my favorite moments with you were from seeing stars early on in the season, because we really got to go into a lot of emotional depth with you. We found out more about your emotions, especially concerning Blitz and how you felt about that relationship. How do you feel about Luna starting to let people in more emotionally versus being completely closed off at the beginning of the series?
I love it because I think that she's gotten so used to, I don't know, reacting to everything with anger and kind of a level of petty that I could never hope to emulate, or I hope to at some point in my life. But I really love that we got to see that when the shit hits the fan, so to speak, like she's a good person and she will do what she needs to do to protect the people in her life. And I think that's really cool. I love that juxtaposition. I'm so horny for it. When, when someone's like enemies to lovers, slow burn, 50 pages. Oh my God, there's only one bed. What are we gonna do? That kind of thing. It's like I love people that present a certain way. I mean, still waters run really, really deep, and I love that about Luna, and I'm really excited to see where we go next. I think we're just gonna keep peeling back those layers. Yeah. I'm also excited to sing. I'm so excited for that. Yes. It's gonna sound like this.
Whoa, spoilers.
I've already got it all planned. I love it.
Bryce, our big moment for Stolas, which leads you to, if you wouldn't mind, your favorite line from the show.
Yeah, well, let me talk a little bit about what I expected from Stolas and what I have found from him since. I thought I was recording a horny owl. And
But there was
was.
so much more to that.
Yes, I was. So with Stolas, I feel like we've gone from jelly sandwiches to what you've just seen, and I think, I imagine all of us have some version of the same love for when a character presents as one thing and then their complexities start to unravel and unfold, and I just love how much I've gotten to experience his true, genuine, sincere emotions beyond just his horniness.
Did you find the character really opened up once the big moment of Stolas finally leading into the divorce?
Yes, of course. That was sort of the climax, if you will, of him needing to make a major change in his life. And to your question, yes, one of my favorite lines to record from the show was, of course, "That was the sound of a fucking divorce!"
Vivian, same for you. What were your first thoughts of Billy when you first got the character, and what were your favorite things to get to play with this season? Including, we had a lovely little short that got premiered yesterday. We got to explore a little bit more about his sisterly relationship and who she is before her and Moxie got together.
Yeah, so I had absolutely no idea what I was going in for. Is my mic on? Is it? Okay. Oh, there, I can hear myself. Nice. I had absolutely no idea what I was going in for when I got the sides for Millie. But what I love about her is her passion for life, for love, for fight, for fun. She just has such a zest and excitement. And that was what initially drew me to her. And from the initial episodes, I get to learn so much more about her all the time. Viv is, so beautifully developing all of these characters, and I'm as excited as you guys are when I get a script because I get to dig deeper into who she is and what her history is.
Love it.
I will say, just as a little addition to that, I recently, and you read for it and we're working on it, but it's not a big reveal to say that we have started on season 3. So I feel more comfortable saying that because you guys are about to get a huge announcement on the remainder of season 2. So it's like, haha, season 3. Anyway, what I'm really genuinely excited for is that we're obviously doing many more episodes about the characters, and there's a very special one about Millie in season 3. And I a lot into that one myself, and it's a very personal episode to me now, and I think it was really exciting to as a writer, you inject a bit of yourself into everything you do into all these characters, but there's certain episodes that I feel like I've put more experience in the writers, like not just me, the other writers in the room have put a lot of experiences into. Like one of them was the Mammon episode. I put a lot of that in, a lot of experience into that one, and the other is an episode in season 3 that centers around Millie, and I'm very excited for you guys to see it.
I do want to say the amount of comments from the Mammon episode, especially in 2 Minute Notice, was just everyone commenting who they wanted to sing that song to. Definitely a lot of, specific moments of that. Richard, you're new to the industry, so obviously you don't have a lot of experience going off of the show, but was there anything in Helluva Boss that you were excited to explore for the first time or expand on as a performer that you were excited to dig into? You can't hear, but this is groundbreaking shit.
And I don't even know if I'm allowed to reveal that, am I?
Never reveal that.
What was the question?
Who fucking knows, honestly?
Yeah, I love Moxie. He gets to sing. Yay! He loves me. Yay! What is the?
I'm asking you, performance-wise, the art of acting.
Yes.
Is what we're getting into here. Some
Yes.
ones are falling off my fucking head.
Yes.
The art of acting with
The art
this
of
series.
playing pretend.
Yeah,
I
the
like
art
to
of
go,
playing
yes,
pretend. Was
yes.
there anything that you got to play with in this series on top of your role as voice director that was new territory for you in your career?
Wow, that's a good one. New territory.
I
Yeah,
know
I
it's
think that
good.
most
It's
people
fun.
know me from, more children's television. And yet, some of that children's television is a lot worse than this.
What he
But-
was doing in that alpha suit.
Oh, I was naked under that alpha suit.
naked under the alpha
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah, people
Still
don't
has
know
it.
that. Yeah, I'm naked under my clothes right now.
I've seen it.
Wait, this is a fucking family panel, okay?
Yeah.
Please keep it.
You're right.
Keep it under
I'm wearing
control.
clothes under my clothes. Yeah, so no, I think that, like, from the original question, the art you were asking about, and I think that originally I didn't know what to expect, like a lot of people. But like I've said millions of times, I met Vivian, and I was like, yeah, I want to hitch my wagon to that car. It's like, I was like, yeah, I am Sam, yeah, Mandy, yeah, the day was getting old, ay, 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 ay. Yeah, what? I get to sing? La, 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 la. And she sold me on the beauty of all my friends who sing on Broadway. I just love that I get to work with just so many talented people, and that I get to beat up this guy on a regular basis.
To the salt button.
Lots
Can
of
we-
this. Yeah.
Yeah, he assaults me.
Yeah. He calls it elder abuse.
Yeah, so
Because I'm the elder abuser.
I am so far from you guys. Like I'm like several booths down, and I can hear the assault. Clearly through the din of just like of this like cavernous space that we're signing in. I know exactly when the first punch is thrown. I looked over and I went, oh, they're physically assaulting each other again. This is great. I do feel compelled to say. Richard, I know that you're funny and you make a lot of jokes, but I will say that you are a veteran in this industry, and something that I have resoundingly heard from everybody in this cast is that you never made anybody feel less than, or like we didn't know what we were doing. You never patronized anybody, and like I took classes from Richard. Like when I was in my early 20s, like I took classes when he could so easily have been such an asshole. You know what I mean? Honestly, no, I mean truly, yeah. Like there was an alternate universe situation where somebody who's a veteran comes in and just absolutely, just takes over and he didn't. And he really he let us play. And like, yeah, you're just.
I'm working on my inner asshole.
Yeah, you've just been so lovely, and I'm so happy. Like I love you as a teacher, but I also love you as a peer. You're just a lovely person. So yeah.
I'm really touched. Usually it's just Brandon that's touching me, but thank you, Erica.
Of course.
He touches your heart, and I touch your inner asshole.
Brandon, what drew you to jumping onto this project, and what have you gotten to explore? Because you're heavily involved in the writing side of it for Blitz as well.
Yeah. Mostly it was the 9mm she had aimed at me when she came to my house. I don't know. I just love this show. It's a workplace comedy. And Vivian, I might be bullshitting this. I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but it was presented to me as kind of a workplace comedy in hell. That you know, when they take out other people, and that's just so cool. It's like The Office, but that we can like magnify it because it's animation. We can have explosions happen, and they can go to Earth and just kill kids. And
That's why we chose to kill a kid and
Only
right
one
away.
So, it was one sentence. You get to kill kids. Brendan's like, I'm fucking aiming.
that's in my contract now. Anything that I am attached on creatively, there has to be, you know, at least 5 or under. Done. Yeah.
Standard writer.
Hey, there's enough kids here. Well, hopefully there's no kids here. Speaking of, there's a little one. Hi there.
I want to allow
Okay, that is fully a child.
I need you to forget at least 30 words you heard on this stage.
And speaking of kids, my dad is here, and my sister. Look at that! Oh, it's a kid.
I love you, Brandon. I love you. So, if you ever look at Brandon and ask yourself the question, why?
I came out of those nuts.
Right out and infected your internet.
You were once your daddy's little squirt.
I once was. Now I'm his big splash. Did I answer your question more time?
Sure, why the fuck not? Forget that word. Anyway.
I think social services is at the door.
I'm excited to get into your arc because when we first hear your voice, it is not the Fizzaroli that we've had on the show recently. We start with RoboFizz. We start with an imitation of the character before we get to the real thing. So I would love to ask you, when you first talked to Viv about the role, what were your thoughts going into Fizz, and did you know any of this arc when you first began, or was this all slowly sort of rolled out to you?
I'll start at the end. No is the answer to the second part. I didn't know anything about the arc, and boy, am I happy that like it just started happening the way it did organically. Number one, I got this email during the pandemic that said, "Loved Beetlejuice, would you do something like that on our show?" And I watched the pilot and with my wife, and we were dying laughing. And then I didn't know at that moment, this is going to sound much sweeter than it is, but I didn't know at that moment that that show actually is what kind of saved me through the pandemic. Like, just like being a part of it and doing it and feeling a part of a new community. Because in the theater community is wonderful and really super inclusive and that's great, but I've seen a lot of those same people for like 15 years, and that's a wonderful thing, but there's not a lot of variance. So to be accepted into a world where there are just new people to meet, like wonderful people like Brandon, and also Richard's there. And so, no, but it really is.
Look at me, I'm Beetlejuice.
Wow, it's like he's almost here. So I have, since that moment to now, which is like, holy shit, like seeing people dress up as, holy crap, see people dress up as everybody, not just Fizz, but also just tell people like what it meant to people. And then as far as the art goes, I view anyone that was, Richard knows this for sure, that I was in when shit hit the fan in those episodes later on with the anxiety and things like that, we had a huge day of doing that. This was like a very difficult, tear-driven thing that I'm so happy translated because I watched the episode, and I don't mind watching things that I'm on, and I cried during that episode. This is a much bigger deal to me than I think my casualness puts it, but this is like very nerve-wracking to be in front of a bunch of people who love something, but really people who really love something, and it's really cool. You can really feel it out there and across the internet. So no, I had no clue the scope of this thing, but boy, am I really fucking happy to be on the ride, and I really appreciate being here.
So it's nice to bring some of the Broadway cast into this and welcome them into a world in which they might have never explored Broadway and musical performances to this level before.
I'm just glad that people are starting to mash the two together. It sounds sexual, but it doesn't mean anything.
Sometimes it is.
And sometimes it is
For
sexual.
example, I had the pleasure of seeing you on stage recently in Spamalot.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking
Bunch of
killed
spam
it.
heads in the audience.
But you were in that with James Iglehart.
Yes, my boyfriend, James Iglehart. My boyfriend.
So how has it felt like diving into like this deeper sort of like romance level in the show and explore these very tender moments on a show that can otherwise be very raunchy and comedic, and finding those layers between the comedy and these very tender moments?
One of my least favorite things in the entire world is when people take a really tender moment. I don't mind it, I think it's funny, but when it's genuinely tender and then try to do the thing that's expected, which is then to like put a hat on a hat or put a dick in the middle of it or whatever. But what I love about this is like James and I are friends. I've known James for a very long time. We're both from the Bay Area in California. James did a show with my younger brother when he was like 9 years old. So like I've known James for a long time. So we have genuine love for each other, which is so makes really helpful when we do these scenes. And some of them we've done together, which is really cool. And we just get to chat about them afterwards. James and I are such big fans of everybody that's a fan of us. Like it's just been so cool to like meet people. But doing it out of love is like the greatest thing in the world. And I think just the love that is felt in this show, and has been, but this show as well, it's like, I think it only amplifies the performances that are there. And I've certainly felt it. Some of my better work, I think, is being done in this show just because it feels very love-driven. So I'm very, very, very thankful. And when you're going to talk to somebody else, I'm going to see if James could pick up a FaceTime.
Well, then I'm going to move on to Brandon, since you're sitting next to Alex here. The relationship between Fizz and Ozzy has always been very, very strong. But there has been a huge arc between you and Fizz on the show, going from a lot of tension when we first meet you with Robo-Fizz to this being one of the first characters in Blitz's growth to actually make amends with.
And what did that letter say?
We'll never know, because I had to go and fucking kill my mom.
What was the question, Fizz? And are they gay? What is the question?
Can you spoil everything else in the rest of the season?
So starting on the last episode of season 2, I'm gonna work my way back.
We open on Fizz's funeral.
Well, the episode before that is a real comedy.
Your relationship with Fizz and finding this growth in Blitz as he like rekindles his friendship with Fizzaroli.
There's a lot. Well, Fizz, in my opinion, is that first icebreaker of Blitz really starting to redeem himself or make serious progression in his character. He's really, whether intentionally or unintentionally, he's really made things hard between himself and a lot of people in his life. I think, you got Verosica, you have all the, I have a feeling Wally might not like him very much, but...
We've all kind of ruined Wally's life.
We all have, yeah. Wally ruins our lives because we get to see him on that telly every Thursday. I say, shut up. So I think that Fizz is sort of the nucleus of all of this bullshit that he's sort of like the epitome of relationships gone sour, if not the first relationship that has gone sour in Blitz's life. And so I think if Blitz realizes, I can make progress here, I can fix this, I think that could put an idea, in anyone's head of like, well, who else can I make amends with? Because I think, honestly, I don't think Blitz ever thought that there was a future where him and his old friend would ever be talking to each other again. So that's cool. Aww. It's like, this worked. What else is possible? So, anyway.
And Viv, I'd love to expand on that with you. Like, can you talk a little bit about your development of Blitz and Fizz's relationship? Because we get immediately into that in season 2. That is such a major catalyst for all the other explorations we do with these characters.
Well, what's fun about the show, and it is actually involved one of Brandon's answers about how we first, got together and I pitched him the show and everything. It did start as a workplace comedy. It was very much just gonna be like this more comedic centric, they go to Earth, which it still is. It's still about the business, but at the end of the day, it's about Blitz as a character. And very quickly over the course of writing season 1, and then we went right from season 1 right into writing season 2. And I think the only episode we'd gotten out by that point, like by the point we'd written like basically all of season 2 was Lululand. So like it was written ages ago, this season, and that's why it's so surreal to have it like manifesting now, because it's been forever. But it was like I realized that the relationships of these characters, they happen very naturally. Like I didn't set out with like I knew I wanted that Blitz to have a rivalry with a robot duplicate of someone he knew, because I thought that was a fun concept. I was like, oh, and that's how RoboFizz came around first, because we see that before, and we kind of get to build up who that character is, and then, but through that, I was like, well, what is that relationship? What is that deeper meaning? And that's how we came to, them being childhood friends and them growing up together, and then that slowly led to like, but what makes that relationship different, and like, is there something deeper there? Even if it's just on Blitz's side, and it's like figuring all that out was very natural. It happened as we were writing the story and developing the characters. It was just very like, and that's what's fun, is that we kind of come up with new things all the time, like new relationships, new angles to relationships, what feels like the most appropriate or in character, reveal, and like how characters feel, because that's fun to steal from Erica, to peel back the onion. It really is that. Yeah, I made that up. I'm the first person to ever say that. In this instance.
Now, I like to ask Richard and Vivian a question together, because I think it's adorable. Getting into what would you say is the thing that makes Millie and Moxie strong as a couple? And what do you think, what differences of theirs do they have that balance each other out? Here we go.
Love. Tuning everybody else out.
Great answer. Absolutely riveting.
I hope no one paid for this panel.
So that they save your money at the table that you're signing autographs at, you mean? Okay.
I mean, my table in the corner.
In the corner, on
an
the
hour,
corner
we'll be
bar,
out there,
right.
and I can find it.
Yeah, I think that what makes our relationship unique, especially that we've seen in this season, is that if we always were on the same page and we always got along and we never fought or any of that stuff, that's not a healthy relationship. It really isn't. There has to be some kind of sometimes, like, especially in unhappy campers, right? Especially in unhappy campers, where Moxie just had to be like told that you're not always the center of the world, Moxie. I have a life too, and I'm like blown away by that one, because I called Vivian and I said, who's singing? I'm a regular Joe. Whoa, that's Vivian. I'm like, oh my God, I was blown away. You were amazing in that song. Yeah. Little known fact, I sing in a higher key than Vivian.
That's because they don't check my key.
Right, yes, they never do.
Because they always put him first.
Yeah. So like when we have to do like harmony, you always end up having to take the lower line. Like, it's like on a couple of oh man, so your turn.
Well, also, I think it's just very relatable, right? Our relationship, because I think this is something that many women, men, individuals struggle with, is putting their partners first. It's something that I've dealt with all my life, so it's something that connects me very much to Millie and puts me right into the shoes of this relationship, learning how to prioritize. And that's something beautiful that we're seeing throughout the course of this season, is Millie standing up for herself, right?
Yes. Don't do that anymore. It scares me.
Thank you so much. Bryce, we got a little taste of the song that we've been teasing for a while here, and without spoiling anything, you have some major bangers coming up this season. Major banger. I want to talk with you about your working relationship with our music team, with Sam Hath, with Andrew, and how you work with them to sort of raise the levels of your musical performance in this, because you certainly do.
Oh, thank you. I said at the beginning, I thought I was coming in to, record a horny owl, and I was excited about that. But when I found out how much I was going to get to sing and how much of the show, was taking on a sort of using a convention that we use in Broadway musicals where characters sing when they can no longer speak, when their emotion reaches a place where they can do nothing but sing. And Sam and Andrew, they continue to bring these songs that I feel like I am excited to come into the booth, excited and scared to come into the booth to record. And I have to say, and I'd be curious, Alex, if you agree that singing in the booth is a very different experience than singing live. Rehearsing something and rehearsing it over and over again, and really hearing yourself a bunch of times, and then getting out in front of an audience and doing it 8 times a week. It sort of becomes a muscle memory, and you're of course you're proud of it. But there's something about doing it once on one day in the booth with the people who created the song. With an incredible voice director who, by the way, is responsible not only for his own part, but knowing the arcs of all the parts and knowing the emotional journeys of all the characters. So again, just sincere shout out to you, Richard.
Thank you.
This is Richard's bar mitzvah.
This is make Richard cry on stage. But getting a chance to do it in that very pressurized and yet comfortable setting where we go when we record these songs. I usually come in with trying to know the song as well as I can on my own, but leaving space to learn it more on the day and hear from the creators. How are you imagining this phrase? What's going on for you emotionally in this phrase, and then trying to translate that into a performance. And by the end of the recording session, my favorite thing to do after we've gone section by section is then take some full passes of the song. And honestly, I don't know what ends up being chosen, but I know that those last few full passes for me are the closest thing I feel like I get or can compare to a live performance, which is something I do know. But it's all been rehearsed and sort of learned in the course of 1 or 2 hours. And something about the pressure of that and the immediacy of that. The first time I experienced some of the emotions in the song, I feel like it's right there and the mic's right there. So as soon as I'm discovering it as a performer, we're putting it right into the mic and it's captured. And that's something you can't do exactly when you rehearse something for many, many weeks. So the short answer is, I love it.
I just want to say that one of the most amazing things to work with, like people like Bryce and Alex and everyone, but particularly these two who are in the middle of doing shows when they're coming in like the morning after like a really intense performance, to have to come in like Bryce, for example. I saw Bryce in Little Shop of Horrors, and Bryce plays 8 characters in that show. Dude. Then the show lets out at 10 and the last train back to his house is at 10:15. So he like changes really quick, then rushes home, then has to be into the studio at 9 in the morning. Ooh. And and the thing that always blew me away and still continues to do with both of them is that when they're there, it takes like 5 minutes at most to kind of wake up. But once we're there, it's like I think Vivian and I sit there constantly with this entire cast at one time or another, just like in total awe. Just like they're just awe-inspiring, all of them. And I'm really
Thank you, Richard.
I'm really
We love you, Richard.
I'm really glad you took me along on your journey, baby.
I'm dead right now. I have to say, I'm I'm so ignorant to this world. I know nothing. I've learned more, but I've known nothing about animation, about cons, about who voices who directs what. And when I had the opportunity to record for the first time, I went into the booth and I worked with Viv and I worked with Richard. And I didn't fucking know who they were. I didn't know. Richard Horowitz, like, I don't fucking know.
And I was wearing a t-shirt with Invader Zim on it, so I mean...
And when I finished recording that day, I went home to my husband and I said, I love this man, Richard Horowitz. I love him, like, I'm obsessed. I want to work with him every day. And Viv Madrano and the booth, and he's the most amazing director. And I mean, and I know nothing. And then I Googled, and I was like, bitch. So to you, and to you, it's just the most incredible experience of my life working with this team of people.
Yeah.
And I have to say thank you and I love you. And he's crying my Millie tears right now because we're one and we're connected.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done, team, on Operation Destroy Richard Emotional.
I gotta go, everyone. Thanks for that. I don't cry in public. I don't cry.
Only urinate.
Yeah. Urinate in public, yes. In fact, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, we have to rush through a few questions here right now, but I want to please the entire audience by asking the usual questions that at least 327 people would want to ask right now. Starting with Erica, can you give us your favorite line from the show and then your favorite song?
Probably. Shut the fuck up! I think the song we just actually wait. What is that song called? The one we just saw.
The one
we just saw.
When I See Him is that
Short.
song. When I See Him, that one is my new favorite. Sorry, it's literally like every new one. I go, oh, that's my favorite. They're all incredible. Like, how do you even pick? Sure, that one for now. For now, you're on thin ice, kid. Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing to say, and the first thing I say whenever I get in the booth is, "Oh, Blitzy!"
See if Richard has any diapers.
And yes, my favorite song is whatever one we're recording next.
I'm caffeinated. Wow.
I don't remember that line.
This ass is mine! Bryce's first song. What's it called? Everything Will Be Okay.
And my favorite is, Miss Bomb, would you like to do a sex with me? Fun show. You knew I was, you knew it. He knows I'm gonna do it. My favorite one is, besides Millie, is Millie. You have 4 heads. I got a human called me a
Possum! I am not a possum! I know that line.
Favorite song? Ooh, boy, yeah. Really, wow, that's tough because we get to hear all of them even before. I guess of my songs, I love our scene with we're in the Moxie's Bad Trip song.
Oh my god, yes!
I was having a terrible time.
Yeah. Boy, there's a song that's coming up where we do a little duet that I really like too. So yeah, I love them all. I love whatever song they're singing next.
I said, what are we doing? We're doing a quote and a song?
Quote and song. Quote and song. We've done this 500 fucking times.
I'm so sorry I fucked your husband. Well, I told her. See, the thing is, I fell on the table, and she's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I just had to get it out of the way. I fucked him. And my favorite song is stepped on my nuts and she sucked on my ass. Ain't got my dick in a tits. Oh God, cover your ears.
Or leave your body or something. But that's my favorite song. I count up to 35 words you have to forget before you leave these doors.
I still don't know the words to that song.
Oh my god!
I mean, that was the point.
It made me sing along to it, but she wouldn't let me listen to a cut of it beforehand. She let me listen to it once. And she was like, I'm going to sing along to it because I want you to mess up all the words.
By the way, going off of that quote, there's now an audio clip that exists of Georgie saying that Blitz is the sexiest character on the show. Somewhere out there, Stella's voice is saying that.
Yeah, I'm gonna land on one of Stolas's tables, like, sorry, I fucked your wife, and then run out.
Be the weirdest way this series will end.
End of season 2, right there.
I had to look up the quote because I wasn't sure I knew it, but I do know it. It turns out that I'm right, but I'm going to read it because I'm nervous. My favorite quote so far is, I'm a performer, I sing, I dance, I promote products I don't actually use, I don't do danger.
That's the first time I've heard it in person.
Oh, really?
That was crazy.
That's thrilling.
Yeah.
Divided.
Well, there it is. There I am. It's easy to put on, it's hard to keep going. Favorite song, I'm going to say, to listen to for sure, is The House of Asmodeus. Which also has a lot of everyone but I know's favorite line of mine is, which is just 2 words. One of them is not even a word, and one of them is a musical instrument. So, and that is, trumpet!
I want to change my answer to House Asmodeus too.
And I want to change my answer to your favorite quote.
Yeah, what's your favorite quote?
Miss Mom.
Not for now! Not for now! I just remember when that song first happened, like the first thought in my head is like, holy fuck, they've got James Iglehart and Alex Bretman to do a duet in this fucking show.
Yeah! I couldn't get James, by the way.
That's fine, he's missing out. We'll get him at one of these.
We'll get him at one of these, yeah.
eventually. We'll get it up.
Yeah, I will say, James is one of the sweetest people I've ever known, and I sing his praise. It's funny, every time we see each other, we have this, like, ritual at this point where we both sing each other's praises over and over. We're just like, I love you, no, I love you. And we always, like, tell, like, because, so I'd love to tell everybody, like, I met James at the stage door, when it was my graduation year, I just graduated, and it was like a week, I was still in the city before leaving. I'll go fast, but I'll leave off on this, is that he gave me the time of day, and that changed my life. It truly did. It gave me a lot of confidence, it gave me a lot of like hope in being able to work with people like him and make musicals, and it made all the difference. And he on his phone recorded a little voice line for the original pilot of Has-Been. And so then now he's in the real show, and it's on Amazon, and it's unreal. So I had to share that about James. He's amazing.
So we've been trying not to step on landmines with spoilers this entire time, but how about some fucking spoilers? How about the teaser trailer for the rest of season 2? Let's get off this stage. It is the trailer for season 2.5. Look around, we want to get a photo with all of you after this finishes.
Come out! We've got you surrounded! Where are we going?
Anywhere but here. Get ready for a life on the run, gang.
fucking god.
I fucking hate you so much, Prince. This is actually gonna be, and it would be disastrous to lose what we worked for.
So why would a bunch of angels be looking for kings?
Return to Earth, so we might unite them once and for all. We could use someone with more experience.
I am glad to see you folks. We've been having more disturbances that are killing my gap.
Look alive, you undead cocksley! Prepare to get sucked off to the astral plane, man!
Damn it, Lance, they aren't ghosts. These are just shriveled humans. No offense.
Well, he stole us anyway. We need to summon him.
It's actually a thing we have. It's not right anymore. It hasn't been. I just want someone to care. I want someone to want me.
You fucks think you can do this every time! Like, you're smaller and not as important!
Bit out of your depth, aren't you, little ones?
You are so...
Hello, we live in hell!
From those around you and leave them worse and more broken than
Remorse for what you do.
You never loved Clara, and you don't love me. You love him.
I destroy everything. I make everyone's lives worse.
I don't want to be this way. Not forever.
So, even if only for a little while.
I gotta start watching this show. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.